Shabbat Shalom, my beautiful brothers and sisters in Yahuwah Elohim, and welcome to our Shabath Bible study. I hope you all had a good week, and now it's time for our day of rest and study and prayer. So, go ahead and grab your Bibles, and we'll get started this evening, okay? Grab something to drink, get all comfy and stuff, and when you're ready, go ahead and open your Bibles to Shemu'el Bet, chapter 7. We'll be doing chapter 7, 8, and 9 tonight, okay? All right. All right, gang. Take a little drink here, and we will get started. If you're not ready, just pause the video, and we'll be waiting for you. Okay, then. Shemu'el Bet, which is 2 Samuel, chapter 7. And it came to be, when the sovereign was dwelling in his house, and Yahuwah had given him rest from all his enemies all around, that the sovereign said to Nathan the prophet, See now, I am dwelling in a house of cedar, but the ark of Elohim dwells within curtains. And Nathan said to the sovereign, Go do all that is good in your heart, for Yahuwah is with you. And it came to be that night that the word of Yahuwah came to Nathan, saying, Go and say to my servant David, Thus says Yahuwah, Will you build a house for me to dwell in? For I have not dwelt in a house since the time that I brought the children of Israel up from Mitzrayim, even to this day, but have moved about in a tent and in the dwelling place. Wherever I have walked with all the children of Israel, have I ever spoken a word to any one of the tribes of Israel, whom I commanded to shepherd my people Israel, saying, Why have you not built me a house of cedar? And now say to my servant David, Thus said Yahuwah of hosts, I took you from the pasture, from following the flock, to be ruler over my people, over Israel. And I have been with you wherever you have gone, and have cut off all your enemies from before you, and have made you a great name, like the name of the great ones who are on the earth. And I shall appoint a place for my people Israel, and shall plant them, and they shall dwell in a place of their own, and no longer be afraid, neither shall the children of wickedness oppress them again, as at the first. Even from the day I commanded rulers over my people Israel, I have caused you to rest from all your enemies, and Yahuwah has declared to you that he would make you a house. When your days are filled, and you rest with your fathers, I shall rise up your seed after you, who comes from your inward parts, and shall establish his reign. He does build a house for my name, and shall establish the throne of his reign forever. I am to be his father, and he is my son. If he does perversely, I shall reprove him with the rod of men, and with the blows of the sons of men. He's going to use man against him if he starts going astray. Solomon. Verse 15, But my loving commitment does not turn aside from him, as it turned aside from Shaul, whom I removed from before you. And your house and your reign are to be steadfast forever before you. Your throne is established forever. Yahusha came from David's side of the family, so forever. Verse 17, According to all these words, and according to all this vision, so Nathan spoke to David. And sovereign David went in and sat before Yahuwah, and he said, Who am I, O Master Yahuwah, and what is my house that you have brought me this far? And yet this was a small matter in your eyes, O Master Yahuwah, And you have also spoken of your servant's house for a great while to come. And this is the teaching of man, O Master Yahuwah. And what more does David say to you? For you, Master Yahuwah, know your servant. Because of your word, and according to your own heart, you have done all this greatness, to make it known to your servant. You are great indeed, O Master Yahuwah, for there is none like you, and there is no Elohim but you, according to all that we have heard with our ears. And who is like your people, peculiar, set apart? Like Israel, the one nation on the earth whom Elohim went to ransom for himself as a people, to make for himself a name, and to do for you greatness and awesome deeds for your land before your people, whom you ransomed for yourself from Mitzrayim, from the nations, and their mighty ones? And you have established for yourself your people Yisrael as your own people forever, forever. Yeah, no replacement theology, forever. And you, Yahuwah, have become their Elohim. Verse 25, And now, O Yahuwah Elohim, the word which you have spoken concerning your servant and concerning his house, establish it forever, do as you have said. And let your name be made great forever, saying, Yahuwah of hosts is the Elohim over Yisrael, and let the house of your servant David be established before you. For you, O Yahuwah of hosts, the Elohim of Yisrael, have revealed this to your servant, saying, I build you a house. Therefore your servant has taken heart to pray this prayer to you. And now, O Master Yahuwah, you are Elohim, and your words are true, and you have spoken this goodness to your servant. And now, be pleased to bless the house of your servant, to be before you forever. For you, O Master Yahuwah, have spoken it, and with your blessing let the house of your servant be blessed forever. Chapter 8. You can see that this is a forever thing, because the people of the tribes of Jacob, of Yisrael, are his people forever. Not until Yahusha came, forever. There's no replacement theology. These so-called Christian churches, their preaching of a replacement theology is wrong. That's a corrupt teaching. The Christians have not taken the place of the tribes of Yehuda, or of the tribes of Jacob. Sorry, Yehuda is one of those tribes. So the Jews, no. The tribes of Jacob. Okay? Alright. Chapter 8. And after this it came to be that David struck the Philistines and humbled them. And David took the bridle of the mother city out of the hand of the Philistines. What's the mother city of the Philistines? Gath. Okay, so David took Gath. Verse 2, He also struck Moab, and measured them off with a line, causing them to lie down on the earth. With 2 lines he measured off those to be put to death, and with 1 complete line those to be kept alive. And the Moabites became David's servants and brought presents. Any ideas about the lines, the single line and the double lines? I heard it said that it was because he was measuring off the height of a normal man compared to the height of a giant. And the ones that were above normal size, he slew. But I'm not sure about that. I don't know. Anybody got any ideas? If you got any ideas about verse 2, please go ahead and put them in the comments so we can discuss them, so that maybe we can receive some clarity on this. Okay? Because I'd really like to know, when he's measuring them off with a line, causing them to lie down on the earth, with 2 lines he measured off those to be put to death. That's interesting, the way that it's worded, and I'm not sure. Please, if you've got any better ideas or suggestions of what that is, let me know. Okay? All right, let's go on. Verse 3. David also struck Hadazer, son of Rahab, sovereign of Tisbah, and he went to restore his rule at the river Euphrates. And David captured from him 1,700 horsemen and 20,000 foot soldiers. And David destroyed all the chariots, but he left of them 100 chariots. So I wonder how many chariots there were. He left 100 of them. I wonder how many there were. It's not very specific how many chariots there actually were, but he destroyed all of them but 100. Verse 5. And the Arameans of Damascus came to help Hadazer, sovereign of Tisbah, and David struck 22,000 of the Arameans. Then David put watchposts in Aram of Damascus, and the Arameans became David's servants and brought presents, and Yahuwah saved David wherever he went. So Yahuwah always had his back. Verse 7. And David took the shields of gold which were on the servants of Hadazer, and brought them to Jerusalem, and from Betah, and from Berothah, cities of Hadazer. Sovereign David took very much bronze. And Toi, sovereign of Hamath, heard that David had stricken all the armies of Hadazer. So Toi sent Joram, his son, to sovereign David, to ask peace of him and bless him, because he had fought against Hadazer and struck him. For Hadazer had battles with Toi, and Joram brought with him objects of silver, and objects of gold, and objects of bronze. So they're building up a bunch of treasure. All these tribes that he's destroying, they're getting all kinds of gold and silver and stuff from them, building up a treasury. Verse 11, Sovereign David also set these apart to Yahuwah, along with the silver and the gold that he had set apart from all the nations which he had humbled. So he's dedicated all of this treasure to Yahuwah. Okay? That's pretty wild. What did they do right before they left Mitzrayim? They plundered the Mitzrayites of all the silver and gold and such. And what did they do with it? They built all the fixtures and all the furnitures for the tent of appointment. So they're building up treasure for Yahuwah. All right, verse 12. Now take notice of these tribes, okay? From Aram, and from Moab, and from the children of Ammon, and from the Philistines, and from Amalek, and from the spoil of Hadazer, son of Rahab, sovereign of Tisbah. And David made a name for himself when he returned from striking 18,000 Arameans in the valley of Salt. And he put watchposts in Edom. Throughout all Edom he put watchposts, and all the Edomites became David's servants, and Yahuwah saved David wherever he went. Okay, so his foot stomp on the fact that Yahuwah had David's back. But let's look at the tribes of which he's conquering here. You've got Moab and Ammon, who are the sons of Lot. Remember, way back during the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, when Lot's daughters took advantage of him, their sons were Ammon and Moab. Okay, so he's conquering the twisted side of the family. And of course, we have the Philistines and Amalek, the Amalekites, which were all creepos and always have been towards the children of Israel. And he put watchposts in Edom. What is Edom? Edom is Esau. So he's also bringing them down to their knees with Esau. Okay, so you can see how he's like taking the different parts of the family that are messed up and gone astray and conquering them. That's pretty interesting. When you think about what we read about in Torah, in Genesis, it's pretty interesting. And alongside with Jubilees and Yasher, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Okay, verse 15. And David reigned over all Israel, and David was doing right ruling and righteousness to all his people. Right ruling and righteousness. See, he's doing the right ruling, which is the proper judgments of all of these things according to Torah, and right ruling and righteousness. So he's doing what he's supposed to be doing according to the law. Okay. Verse 16, and Joab, son of Tsurah, was over the army, and Jehoshaphat, son of Ahilud, was the recorder, and Tisdoc, son of Ahitub, and Ahimelech, son of Abiathar, were the priests, and Sariah was the scribe, and Benyahu, son of Yehuda, was both over the Kenathites and the Pelethites, and David's sons were priests. Chapter 9. And David said, Is there still anyone who is left in the house of Shaul, that I might show him loving commitment because of Jonathan? Remember, him and Jonathan made a covenant that he wouldn't kill any of Shaul's family and that he would take care of them. Well, things kind of went sideways there. David wasn't responsible for any of that, but things went pretty sideways there, and a lot of them ended up dying. So now he's searching out and saying, is there anybody left of Shaul's family that I can help him out? Right ruling and righteousness. Verse 2, in the house of Shaul had a servant, whose name was Tisbah, and they had called him to David. And the sovereign said to him, Are you Tisbah? And he said, Your servant. And the sovereign said, Is there not still someone of the house of Shaul, so that I show him the loving commitment of Elohim? And Tisbah said to the sovereign, There is still a son of Jonathan, lame in his feet. So the sovereign said to him, Where is he? And Tisbah said to the sovereign, See, he is in the house of Machir, son of Amiel, in Lo Debar. And sovereign David sent and brought him out of the house of Machir, son of Amiel, from Lo Debar. And Mephibosheth, son of Jonathan, son of Shaul, came to David, and fell on his face, and did obeisance. And David said, Mephibosheth. And he answered, Here is your servant. David then said to him, Do not fear, for I shall certainly show you loving commitment because of Jonathan, your father, and I shall return to you all the land of Shaul, your grandfather, and let you eat bread at my table continually. And he bowed himself and said, What is your servant, that you should turn to such a dead dog as I? Why are you helping me out? Who am I that you're going to help me out? Verse 9, And the sovereign called Tisbah, servant of Shaul, and said to him, I have given to your master's son all that belonged to Shaul, and to all his house. And you and your sons and your servants shall work the land for him, and you shall bring in its yield, and your master's son shall have food to eat. But let Mephibosheth, your master's son, eat bread at my table always. And Tisbah had 15 sons and 20 servants. And Tisbah said to the sovereign, According to all that my master the sovereign has commanded his servant, so your servant does. As for Mephibosheth, said the sovereign, he shall eat at my table as one of the sons of the sovereign. And Mephibosheth had a young son, whose name was Micah, and all who dwelt in the house of Tisbah were servants of Mephibosheth. And Mephibosheth was dwelling in Jerusalem, for he ate continually at the sovereign's table, and he was lame in both of his feet. So you can see that David was definitely being right ruling and acting righteously, because he is still trying to honor the covenant which he had with Jonathan. Even after all this time, he still was trying to take care of things the way that they were supposed to be taken care of. Through all the bloodshed and the fighting and all the craziness that was going on. So, David was not a perfect man. He had his faults, as we all do. But he was trying in righteousness. He was trying. What is righteousness? Trying to follow the law to the best of our broken abilities. So, we're all imperfect. We're all trying the best that we can. If we're following Torah, we're acting in righteousness. Okay? We're not perfect, but we're trying to the best of our abilities. So that's something to think about. That's something to consider and pray over. Are you acting righteously? I declared once upon a time that I wasn't a righteous man. But in thinking about that, I'm trying. As we all are. As we all are. We're all trying. As long as we're following Torah, or trying to the best of our ability, then we're acting in righteousness. Okay. So that all makes sense now. Alright, gang. Well, that's all I've got for tonight. I hope y'all have a great Shabbat. Enjoy your peace. Enjoy your day of rest. Use it to study. Use it to pray. And use it to teach your children. Teach them Torah so that they follow. So that they, in turn, act in righteousness. Yep. Alright, gang. Y'all have a great night, and we will see you on 4th day for our midweek Bible study. Okay? Alright. Y'all have a great night, and we'll see you then. Shabbat Shalom.